Greeting. Well, winter is over with, so now it's time for spring. In other words, pollen season, itchy season, sneezing, coughing, snot all over the place whenever you sneeze, bloody noses whenever that dryness gets in there, all that built-up and all that stuff, and most importantly, bees and stinging insects and mowing the lawns again. And well, I'm kicking off spring by talking about Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. You know, that movie that whenever Winnie the Pooh went into public domain, that got made and caused a bit of controversy. But a lot of people were actually interested in it, especially when the trailer dropped. When that trailer dropped, it went viral. It actually got the film a theatrical release, but only for one day here. It was a Wednesday. I had to work that day. I did see the sequel in theaters, and I saw Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare, but I didn't see Bambi. And well, Pinocchio Unstrung comes out, I believe, in May. I hope it does, because that's the only film this year that I'm really looking forward to. I'm not kidding around. That's how disappointed I've been with Hollywood these days. The only movie that I'm actually interested in seeing this year is a killer horror story of Pinocchio, with Robert Englund playing Freddy Krueger. I mean, Jiminy Cricket Krueger. You can easily tell they're basing this design off Freddy Krueger. Oh, man. Well, I didn't finally see Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey until I found it on the internet because I couldn't find it anywhere else. So I actually had to watch it online. Not at a streaming service, that one of those sites that I believe it was Putlocker is where I found it. I loved it. It was my favorite film of 2023. Yeah, that's right. The film that everybody said was the year's worst was my favorite film of 2023. 2017, it was The Bye-Bye Man, and then 6 years later, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey got that title. I did like it. I didn't mind the costumes and everything. I will admit the padding is a problem in this film. It's not as bad as the Killing Tree. But yes, this studio, these filmmakers rely on having characters drag scenes longer than they need to go just to get the runtime longer. I read that the hot tub scene was actually added after they made the film, because if it wasn't, the movie would have been less than an hour and 20 minutes, because the film's runtime is only an hour and 24, and I think 15 seconds, so they were 45 seconds short from it being an hour and 25 minutes. Well, basically, it opens up with this really cool animated sequence. It's just pictures and all that stuff, but they do animation with Christopher Robin going to the 100-acre forest and meeting the 5 monsters. Owl, Rabbit, Eeyore, I hope I said his name right, Piglet, and Pooh, Winnie the Pooh. He made friends with them despite what they look like, and he brought them food, and then years go by, he leaves to go to college to become a doctor, and now they basically can't fend for themselves for some reason, and now they're in a cave, and they basically turn and eat Igor in order to survive. And then 5 lousy years have now gone by. They now basically vow never to talk again, and now they hate humans for what Christopher Robin has done. Okay. Well, Christopher Robin finally returns, brings his fiancée Mary to the place. He notices the place is kind of changed. They seem to be collecting stuff from, I guess, people that are around that area. This location is actually pretty cool. They got all this stuff designed that definitely falls in the hoarder category for, killers like this. Yeah, and the soundtrack for this film is great. The music is good. Even when you hear that something smells, it still sounds cool. Well, Christopher Robin and Mary hide when they hear one of them coming. I believe it's Pooh. But whenever they get away, Piglet shows up and strangles Christopher Robin's fiancée Mary. They say wife, but it's also fiancée Mary. I don't know. I'm just going to say fiancée because that's what Wikipedia said. But he does say wife in the movie. He strangles her to death. And then whenever Christopher Robin tries to leave through this, wooden area with these creepy-looking tree things or, branches or roots where they're designed to make a tunnel, Pooh's on the other side. Now, we know you can tell these guys are just wearing masks, but I like these masks. I like they're good. They work. They help to work with this movie. And he does repeat lines over and over again. Christopher Robin at this encounter, and you know they're doing that to get the cows once again, to get the runtime longer. Then we cut to a scene where they're dragging into the same cave where Eeyore's skeleton has remained all this time, despite the fact that they had a funeral with his tail on it. And I'm like, oh, they must have dug his body up and put it in there for some, I don't know. It's like they were expecting Christopher Robin back now and they just set the whole thing up. They cook and eat his wife, well, fiance, I'll just say whatever. And then we switch to Maria, who's seeing a therapist. Well, actually, we switch to the opening credits, where it does reveal that all this other stuff is going on. And whenever it does the title, the blood and honey is oozing honey. Well, back to Maria. Okay, she's talking to a therapist because she had to deal with a stalker who broke in, felt or violated her, and now she's traumatized. Her friends decided to take her out to a cabin to get away from all this. Okay, it's Alice, Zoe, Laura, Tina, and Jessica. They stop at a gas station where we meet one of the guys that comes back later on in the movie. And then they get to the cabin. Of course, it's the tradition where they love it. They all explore it and all that stuff. But unfortunately, Tina's late. She gets lost. She goes to make a phone call in the woods. She turns around and sees Pooh. She screams out, drops her phone, runs from him. He goes after her. And then she ducks into this warehouse, hides behind a wood chipper. Gee, I wonder what's going to happen to her. He shows up, does the old look left, and he walks away. And then when she gets back up, of course, he's right behind her. He grabs her. He tries to force her in. She holds back. And then he just wham! And then he just tips her in there and puts her in there, despite the fact that I'm pretty sure she's dead. So no screaming alive. Well, she was going to go in head first. She should have been killed quickly. Not like that woman from Silent Night, the 2012 film. 2020. The remake of Silent Night, the very loose remake, that is. Well, then we see Christopher Robin. They tied him up. They've been keeping him prisoner, torturing him, and Pooh has flashbacks to whenever they were friends. He even cries, but then he goes into a fit rage and starts breaking things, crates, bottles. He picks one up and throws it, smashes on a hook that's hanging by Christopher Robin. He sees Eeyore's tail, grabs it, whip on his back, and when it comes to the marks, it looks like they've already been there, because he hits him another time, and we never see one get formed. And then when police comes back and puts his wife/fiance's skeleton, he sees Christopher Robin starts screaming in terror, and then they shower him with his wife's blood, wife/fiance. Oh man. But then Pooh leaves, but then he starts hearing music. And I read that this so-called jacuzzi sequence was actually added after they made the movie, because they probably needed the runtime to be over an hour and 20 minutes, because this does go on for a while. Whenever she's taking selfies, she then sees Pooh in the background, she goes and checks and then goes back, and yeah, I would have been like, there's a weirdo out there, dude, you gotta go inside and call the 911 when you saw the guy with that man like that. Yeah, instead she just goes in the back of the jacuzzi and acts like it's no big deal. Pooh and Piglet manage to sneak behind her and do the old rag with that chemical that renders her unconscious. They hog-tie her. Piglet steps on her and Pooh gets behind the wheel of the car and parks it on her head, crushes it, and drives a little bit further. The others hear it. They go and check. They see her. They now know that Laura's dead. Okay, and then they see Get Out written in blood. They see Pooh. They see bees, the CGI bees. And then Zoe and Alice go to where the indoor pool is, that little tiny one. And Piglet shows up. He knocks Alice out, knocks Zoe into the pool. He gets the chain, whiplash, keeps missing though. And then we get, I'm guessing, what is supposed to be the film's signature kill, because they use this in the trailer a lot. Well, they use it in the trailer, I don't know why I said a lot. But it's whenever Piglet gets in there with the sledgehammer, follows her, and then Alice wakes up in time to see him, wham, into Zoe's face. But he does that for some reason. They didn't kidnap Alice. The other two, Jessica and Maria, find a pistol, and then they follow Piglet and Pooh to their lair. Yeah. Pooh and Piglet have been obviously picking people off and collecting their things, kind of like in the hills have eyes, and yet somehow no one knows where their location is when they're close to this cabin that's always been being for rent. Looks like it's been kept up, and yet no one ever noticed them. Or those search parties for the missing people, nothing like that. I don't know, it's just for fun. It's a fun movie. Well, they go there. Alice gets slapped by Pooh just to fill the runtime. They find Christopher Robin, they free him. They find a woman named Charlene, who is obviously in the film just to be another victim. She sees herself that she's been mutilated. She takes the gun away, shoots a shot. Piglet shows up, and they start going around the fire. And then when she pulls the trigger, it reveals the gun only had one lousy shot. There are more than I guess I missed those than the other firing scenes. Pooh appears behind her, grabs her by the hair, puts her to the floor, they kill her. And then Jessica and Maria start running, but Alice stays behind with the sledgehammer. She gets Piglet in the feet, knocks him out, restrains him, and then beats him with his own sledgehammer. Now, Wikipedia said that originally she killed him, but when the sequel came out and revealed that he was still alive, now it says she knocked him unconscious. When he's getting attacked, Pooh hears this, runs back, he sees his friend down, he grabs Alice, does the old put her on the wall, and then put the machete or a big knife into her mouth and pins her. Oh man. The other two come back. Pooh turns around, sees them, and chases after them. They get a torch to fend him off, and then they toss it and leave. Keep it! They find a truck. It's got four guys in it. One was the guy from the gas station. The other guys, John, Tucker, Colt, and John. Yeah. They see Pooh on the road. They get a crowbar, a liquor bottle, a sledgehammer, and a baseball bat while the girls get in the truck. They come to Pooh and they start beating the living crap out of him, and they hit him a ton of times and do some damage, but when that one hits him with the bottle, he then lifts up and reveals that he took no pain. It's like he never got hurt. He then hits that guy in the face, tearing the flesh off. He runs all the way back to the truck while the other three guys are just standing there watching in horror. One of them, with the one with the baseball bat, this time he throws a punch. I'm like, you got a bat, use it. Or why don't y'all just keep hitting him? Why don't y'all stop? Keep going. Just keep going. The one, he gets it, when he catches his, Pooh catches that guy's hand, he tears it off, throws him down, stomps on his head, and does the old foot twist. The one guy with the crowbar, he goes across his throat, turning his arms after. The last guy runs away, but then Pooh summons the bees and then orders them to sting him to death. The girls get this truck going. They run Pooh down, but it's the old, he fell underneath it, hung on, then climbed on the roof, and then it crashes. He drags Jessica out, cuts her head off or rips her head off. He comes at Alice with a knife. He pins her down, but then he turns around and sees Christopher Robin chiming in, saying the F word, followed by you, and then slams into him into the truck with him between them. This, to me, is where the movie should have ended. If it would have, it would only been an hour and 17 minutes, but now something happens that I am not really that big on. Excuse me, just had some quesadillas. Pooh is alive. He pushes the truck off, he vomits some blood, and despite the fact that he just got smashed right here, he's walking like nothing happened. His pelvis should be crushed. He should have been falling to the ground, crawling if he was still alive. And that probably meant they could have grabbed his knife and stabbed him with it. But no, he's perfectly fine. He grabs Maria by the hair, puts the knife to her throat. Christopher Robin tries to plead with him, I'll stay with you. But then Pooh says his only line in the movie, you left. He slits Maria's throat, throws her down, and then Pooh starts stabbing her in the head. And then Robin runs off, and that's when the movie ends. Then we get some pretty good end credits, because the sequence with the Pooh and Piglet head with all the visuals around it, pretty good. Yes, the movie has padding, and It's got some good kills. It's got good gore. It's got great set design. It's got a great score. And honestly, when I watched this movie, I felt like I was watching an 80s film that was released in an 80s film released in 2023. I got a good 80s vibe out of this movie, and this movie is a lot better than a number of those 80s horror films that were just those crappy horror cash grab movies. Because I've been tracking down a lot of those movies because I remember seeing the VHS covers a lot, but never watching them. And well, like 85% of them have been disappointing, big time. However, the ones that were disappointing, I will admit they got better theatrical poster or VHS cover, poster for than Winnie the Pooh Blood Honey. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really like the movie's poster. It's not terrible, but yeah, it's just something I would say. Can you guys do something else? Well, outside that, this movie is fun. It's great. I love it. And yes, it's got, once again, I guess I'm repeating myself, so I'm doing the patting. Hell, yeah, that's the biggest flaw. And the only change I would have made about this is the part where the 4 guys start attacking Pooh. I would have gone by the rule that the one with the bottle pretends that he's running away, and then when the 3 guys get around him, as soon as that one guy hits him with that crowbar and Pooh just goes like this, that's when that guy smashes that bottle, and they circle around, and that's when they all start beating him. And when he goes by the role, the guy hit him with a crowbar, Pooh was about to retaliate until the guy got him, and then they started beating him, and they got him on the ground and kept hitting him, and that's when Pooh summoned the beast to get rid of him. That's what I would have done, and yes, I would have ended the movie when Christopher Robin smashed Pooh, and I would have just gone by the rule that for a sequel, it would have been Owl, Rabbit, and Tigger, Tigger now being the main villain, out for revenge against Robin and Maria. Probably Maria would be the opening victim, and the rest of the film would focus on Robin. I understand they wanted to keep Pooh in, yes, they actually kept Piglet in the sequel, even though he's only in the beginning. But still, I just felt that they went overboard with making him, how strong they made. Because I understand a lot of people say, look how strong my character is, but yeah, as time went on, I'm like, you know what, this is getting old. The character, he died in 1 hour and 17 minutes in the movie. Yeah, so, I would have just done those 2 changes right there. But I did enjoy Blood Honey too, but I didn't like it as much as the first. I like Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. I did like it better than Blood Honey 2. Right now, Bambi the Reckoning to me is my least favorite of the 4, but I'm hoping Pinocchio and Straw will be better than that one. I don't know if it's going to be the best, but I am looking forward to it. And well, if you are too, well, I hope you enjoyed as well. And if you didn't enjoy this video and you feel like it padding like the movies that Jacket Edge keeps doing, well, I apologize. And well, I guess this means I got one more video for this month, and then it's April.